What if the quietest, stockiest creature in Australia suddenly woke up with our intelligence? No, I'm not talking about some sci-fi horror movie. No claws for typing, no thirst for world domination. Just a mind capable of planning, remembering, and creating, housed inside a wombat. The result wouldn't be chaos or rebellion. It would be order, slow, deliberate, and built entirely underground. Wombats are already nature's engineers. With those powerful limbs, they dig tunnel systems so complex that other animals use them for shelter during fires. Now, give those little builders a human-level IQ, and the Australian bush would transform right under our feet. The first sign wouldn't be noise, it would be geometry. Suddenly, every burrow entrance would start lining up with something. Wind direction, the slope of a hill, the path of the sun. The old, random holes would become meticulously planned ventilation shafts. A single colony could stretch for hundreds of meters underground, carved into chambers for food storage, sleeping, and perfect air circulation. You could look at a hillside and see nothing, but beneath it would be a living city, cool in the summer, dry in the rain, and quiet as a heartbeat. Their communication would evolve, too. Wombats already use grunts, growls, and scents. With advanced cognition, those sounds would become a language, a soft, low-frequency dialect built for tunnels. Vibrations would replace shouts. A single stomp on a tunnel wall could carry a warning a kilometer away. No predators would hear it. No human ears would ever know it happened. And their relationship with food would change forever. They already eat grass, roots, and bark. But with reason, they'd start farming. Imagine underground fungus gardens, carefully cultivated moss beds, and even redirected runoff water to maintain lush green patches on the surface. These patches would act as natural air filters, keeping the burrows cool and ensuring a constant food supply. Over generations, the landscape itself would begin to show patterns, perfectly spaced grids of vegetation, all aligned to an invisible wombat infrastructure. Then comes the architecture. A human mind in a wombat body wouldn't dream of skyscrapers. It would crave stability. They would create underground temples made of dirt. Vaulted chambers reinforced by living root systems, layered with compacted soil bricks shaped by a perfect blend of instinct and intelligence. Each den would become a masterpiece of quiet, efficient design. Their city, invisible from above, would be a testament to order below. Their greatest advantage? Patience. We humans rush. Wombats endure. They already move slowly, live long, and focus on the world right in front of them. An intelligent wombat society would plan decades, even centuries ahead. They'd move soil in tiny increments to redirect floodwater, slowly terraforming entire valleys without us ever noticing. You might walk through a gorge and wonder why erosion never seems to hit it hard, never realizing there's an ancient system of tunnels beneath you, managing the water like a city's plumbing. Social life would have to evolve. Wombats are mostly solitary now, but intelligence demands collaboration. Their burrow networks would connect through junction chambers, underground plazas where different clans could meet, exchange food, and share maps. A visitor could navigate entire regions underground, moving from family to family through corridors lit by glowing moss. Their economy wouldn't be based on money, it would be based on ecological stability. They'd trade in information, rainfall data, soil health reports, the locations of invasive weeds. They would manage the bush the way a master gardener manages a greenhouse, trimming, seeding, and protecting every living thing. Predators like dingoes, snakes, and foxes would quietly disappear from their territories. These hunters rely on surprise, but you can't surprise an animal that can essentially see through the ground. With seismic awareness and flawless memory, wombats would sense every paw step from hundreds of meters away. Their traps wouldn't be physical, they'd be psychological. A predator might chase a wombat into a tunnel, only to find itself lost in a maze of dead ends, circles, and echo chambers. It wouldn't die fighting. It would die utterly confused. But intelligence also brings history. A wombat with a human IQ would remember the great droughts, the devastating fires, the flash floods, and it would prepare. Their burrows would be equipped with fire shelters, sealed chambers lined with moisture-retaining plant fibers, waiting for the day flames sweep across the surface. And other animals would be welcome. Kangaroos, wallabies, even koalas might survive a bushfire because the wombats let them in. Their burrows would become arks, not made of wood, but of soil. Eventually, we would notice. Farmers would see strange patterns: no erosion in wombat regions, cleaner water flowing downstream, bushfires that mysteriously stop at certain ridges. Scientists would study it and come to a stunning conclusion. Wombats are engineering their environment with purpose. First comes disbelief, then awe, then negotiation. Imagine walking into a field and finding a stone placed perfectly upright beside a burrow. A week later, another appears, forming a small pattern. You ignore it until you notice your fence post has been moved slightly, perfectly aligned with their stones. It's not vandalism, it's a message. We're optimizing your land too. Coexistence would become inevitable. We could pave our roads, but the wombats would run their infrastructure right beneath them. Natural drainage systems preventing flood damage. Our cities could sprawl, but the wombats would stabilize the land below. Over time, our two networks would merge. Fiber optic cables running above, fungal highways thriving below. Two civilizations sharing one continent. One visible, one silent. Their greatest invention wouldn't be technology. It would be time management. We humans build fast and repair later. Intelligent wombats would build slowly and never need to repair. Their cities could last for centuries without a single collapse. Their systems maintained by generations that remember every single layer of soil they move. What about conflict? It would be rare. They'd avoid war like they avoid direct sunlight. It's inefficient and unnecessary. But if threatened, their defense would be perfect. Entire tunnels could be collapsed at once to block invaders. The earth itself would obey their commands. Every move would be planned, like a game of chess played 3 layers deep. No violence, just structure. And yes, there would be art. Carvings in clay walls, intricate patterns pressed by claws, designs that mirror the constellations seen through their tunnel skylights. There would be music too, but made of vibrations, rhythmic stomps echoing through chambers like ancient drums. You could stand above ground at night and feel faint tremors pulsing in perfect time. A concert performed for no ears but the Earth's. So, what happens to us in a world where wombats think like humans? We'd finally have neighbors who care more about the ground than the sky. They would heal the soil while we poison it. They would restore forests while we burn them. They would manage fire, flood, and drought better than any government ever could. At first, we'd ignore them. Then we'd come to depend on them. And maybe, just maybe, one day we'd even ask them for advice. Because the smartest civilization on Earth might not be the one building ever higher. It might be the one digging deeper, with patience and purpose. If wombats had human intelligence, the world wouldn't get louder. It would get quieter, and maybe that's exactly what the planet needs. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this thought experiment, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content like this. See you in the next one.